Welcome to Virtual Dine, Learn, and Move, brought to you in partnership with Prince George's County Health Department, Suburban Hospital, University of Maryland Capital Region Health, and the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, Department of Parks and Recreation, Prince George's County. Dine, Learn, and Move is designed to promote healthy lifestyle habits. Over the next 90 minutes, you will have fun, get up, and move. Learn everything about healthy eating and engage with our chef while watching a cooking demonstration. Let's get ready to dine, learn, and move.
Greetings. Welcome to the May session of the Dine, Learn, and Move virtual experience. My name is Kate McGrail and I'm with Suburban Hospital. It seems like we may have had a few technical difficulties with our intro, but we're going to pick right back up and keep this show moving for you. On behalf of the Dine, Learn, and Move collaborative partnership, I'm here tonight supported by a team from the Prince George's County Health Department, the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, Department of Parks and Recreation, Prince George's County, and the University of Maryland Capital Region Health. We are so glad you could join us this evening to learn about healthy eating and active lifestyles. Whether this is your first experience with us or you are a returning participant, we hope you have a wonderful experience tonight. To help you with that, let's go over a few technology tips. Tonight we're using Zoom webinar. This means all participants will remain on mute throughout the evening, but you will be able to submit any questions throughout the session by typing in the chat box, and you'll see that the icon is highlighted below. You'll find this at the bottom of your screen. Let's test it out right now by typing your zip code in the chat box. It will also help us learn more about where you're all joining us from tonight. Awesome, all right. Coming in all across Maryland. I think we are exceeding our Prince George's tonight, coming in strong there, but in some other local counties and jurisdictions, and we welcome you all. So thank you for trying that out with us. We're going to try one more Zoom feature by taking a poll. We'd like to know how many of you are joining for the first time and how many are returning. When you see that poll pop up, please select just one choice and submit your answer. We'll just give you a few minutes. All right, we're going to end this poll. I'm going to click it here, and we have about 1/3 of you coming in brand new. So we welcome you tonight to our virtual Dine, Learn, and Move experience. And thank you to whomever invited you and shared this along. We like joining each other with our friends tonight. So we have a full lineup of events as we celebrate National Mental Health Month. We have a special guest tonight, and to accommodate her schedule, we will hear first from Dr. Otelia Hunter from the local Behavioral Health Authority to learn more about the impact of COVID-19 on our behavioral health. Thank you to the Prince George's County Health Department, who sponsors this segment, for sharing their time tonight with our special guest. Right after that, we'll receive some fitness education from Ms. Patricia before getting up and moving together with Debbie. During Debbie's pre-recorded segment, she will lead us in some chair exercises. This segment of tonight's program is brought to you by the Maryland National Park and Planning Commission, Department of Parks and Recreation, Prince George's County. And then we'll wrap up our session with a live cooking demonstration from Chef Kim. But don't worry, our beloved registered dietitian Sherma is here tonight and will be taking nutrition questions live from the audience. This segment is brought to you by our health system partners, the University of Maryland National Capital Region Health and Suburban Hospital. So Dr. Hunter has been in the behavioral health field for over 20 years and brings with her expertise or extensive experience consulting with organizations on mental health, substance abuse, as well as working in private practice and local government. She holds a PhD in counseling, education, and supervision with a specialization in social change and is a licensed clinical professional counselor and licensed clinical alcohol and drug counselor with designations in both the District of Columbia and Maryland. It sounds like Dr. Hunter is ready for Dine, Learn, and Move because in her free time, she also enjoys exercising in addition to reading, writing, and traveling. So now let's turn our attention to Dr. Hunter for some perspective on how to nurture not just your body, but your mind during National Mental Health Month. Okay, Dr. Hunter, if you need an extra moment, let us know, but we have your slides all set.
Okay, Kate, Dr. Hunter said she's speaking, so we have to figure out what's going on with the mic and the volume.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Oh, we see you, Dr. Hunter. Welcome. All right. If someone from the back end could help unmute Dr. Hunter, it looks like she is unmuted. All right. Thank you all as we let Dr. Hunter just log out and back in.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, excellent. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
We just wanted to have an interactive, stressful moment to start us off with, right?
I'm not stressed out about this. It always happens. I've done something this month alone. I'm Dr. Hunter. I'm with the Prince George's County Health Department, and I am the acting manager for the Local Behavioral Health Authority. Thank you for having me this evening for Dine, Learn, and Move, which I did not know existed before the invitation came. So I'm really looking forward to the information being shared tonight, as well as sharing with you. Next slide, please. I want to talk about the impact of COVID-19 on behavioral health, just to give us an idea of where we are right now. The thing that we know is there's been increased rates of depression and anxiety. There's also been increased rates of overdose. We went up 150% last year in the middle of COVID-19. And we have managed to get those numbers back down into some sense of normal for us. Increased rates of suicide, especially in African Americans in Maryland, and a higher rate for males than we had ever seen. So traditionally, that had not been something that we had seen within the African American community. So it's a little bit alarming for us. The other thing that we dealt with during COVID-19 was the racial justice movement and political tension that created traumatic feelings for a lot of people. And so helping folks be able to process those feelings in a healthy way was really important. We don't want to negate that people actually have feelings about it. We wanted them to actually express themselves and have the opportunity to be able to share, to be able to process it through. Next slide. When we talk about stress, and all of those things are stressors, and COVID-19 is a stressor, getting vaccinated is a stressor, the possibility of opening back up. I know in our county today, they made an announcement that they're going to eliminate the mask mandate as of Friday, this coming Friday at 5 p.m. All of these are stressors for us. And what we have to understand is we always have a certain level of stress that is going on in our lives, and that's normal. We process through that. It helps us, some of it helps motivate us to do the things that we need to do. And then we have this optimal level of stress, which is the part that motivates us. And then we get to the toxic stress, which is a stress that can be debilitating. It's what gives us headaches. You start having shoulder tension, neck problems, headaches, backaches for those of us who moved from being very physical in an office to having to sit in a chair all day because we moved to home. So a lot of this caused a toxic amount of stress for us. We were dealing with something we had never dealt with before in our lives. And this became really important in understanding how to deal with it. Next slide. This is just a quick illustration to show that stress impacts our entire body. So you can't say, oh, I don't have stress in this area, or I don't have stress in that area. We can get fatigued by it. We have reduced concentration, decreased moods. Our skin texture, sometimes I have a colleague that I work with that when she's really stressed out, she gets hives. And, if we're in this environment that we're in, she's like, I have hives again. And I'm like, okay, well, we know what that is. So you have to know how your body responds to it. Excuse me, your heart is impacted by it. Narrowing of arteries, increased blood glucose, your colon, your stomach, your gut, decreased nutrient absorption. So you can say, I'm trying to eat healthy, I'm trying to do everything I can, but your body cannot function the same way when you're stressed out. Decreased immunity. So in a time where we really wanted our immune systems to be at their best so that we can fight off something that we totally didn't know anything about at the beginning, right? The stress of it was decreasing our immunity. Hormonal imbalances and increased cortisol, right? And then muscle protein breakdown. So there's nobody who goes through this, and I mean physical body, that's not actually impacted by stress. So you have to know that stress impacts your entire body. Next slide. When we talk about coping strategies, one of the things that we really need to be very aware of is both optimism and anxiety require us to imagine something that hasn't happened yet, right? So if we have the ability to worry about the future, we have the ability to imagine a better one. And we don't always think of that. We always just think that, I have this anxiety, but you can also have optimism. How we view things can change how we actually process that information. And so when you feel yourself stressing about something and that anxiety begins to set in, then you can begin to do what we call thought changing, thought stopping, and then change how we actually process it and be able to think about something. How do I do this more effectively? How can I be optimistic in the situation that I'm actually in? Next slide, please. Part of coping strategies is body, mind, and spirit, and part of what we're going to talk about here tonight, and even as we talk about, is the body part. But we have to know that the body impacts the mind. and that impacts our spirit. And so these are all parts of who we are that we have to be very careful to ensure that we have healthy coping mechanisms to be able to process through the stresses that we're going through, which will allow us to be able to move effectively through stressful situations. Next slide. So part of that is taking time daily to reconnect with you, right? As we move into our new norm, and I think that thing that we have to be very aware of is that life as we knew it, it will forever be changed. So even as they take away the mask mandates and as they've opened up the restaurants and things like that, how we process information will be very different. And so taking time daily to reconnect with yourself is really important. Remain hopeful and optimistic, right? So I put that in there twice because as you repeat things, people remember it. Stay in your own comfort zone. If you're not comfortable with something, don't do it. I was in a meeting and we were all supposed to be outside, and we were at an organization and they were very kind. They wanted to offer us food, and so they have food inside. And we go inside and we're all kind of looking at each other because we all have masks on, right? And somebody says, has everybody been vaccinated? And it was that one person who said, has everybody been vaccinated? And we all talked about when we had our vaccines and when it was and when we passed the 14 days that allowed us to be able to find comfort, to be able to even sit down and have a meal. So you have to be comfortable with saying what you need to say in order for you to be comfortable. You have to allow yourself to feel. So if you're having a bad day, it's okay to have a bad day. You don't want to stay on the bad day, but you want to acknowledge your feelings and say, okay, this is just not the best time for me. And so I'm going to take myself a moment. I had somebody who I work with today, they called me and said, Dr. Hannah, I just need to go for a walk. I said, okay, go for a walk. It's a beautiful day out. Get out there before the rain comes and go for a walk. It'll improve your mood. It'll make you feel better. And sometimes that's all it takes, which leads to the very next thing, right? Exercise. So I am I was a gym rat growing up. I ran track. Exercise was never not a part of my life. And I think and people always say, how can you do the things that you do? Why it doesn't stress you out? Because I do this every single day. I can tell you that I do 20 to 25 miles running or walking every week. I do weights. I have a full gym in my house because I'm originally from Los Angeles where we never had winter, and that wasn't the same when I moved here, right? And so exercise for me is a lifestyle. And when you make it a lifestyle, it helps you to be able to process things through. It helps you keep your mood where it's supposed to be. And we'll talk about that later. Mindful meditation or prayer. So some people can say, I don't really want to pray. I'm more of somebody who wants to meditate. It's okay. It's taking that time to reconnect with you and reconnect with your higher power, to be able to give you what you need, to be able to move through some of these stressful times. Take a break. And I put it there. Yes, some of us need a vacation. So a lot of people, vacations were canceled. And even if you took time off, you still had priorities and you had things that you needed to do for work. But as we begin to open back up, begin to think about what those breaks look like for you and how you can do it safely. And last but not least, make sure you get enough sleep. So sleep hygiene is really important. I have a slide on it. We're going to go through it real quick. But not getting enough sleep impacts every part of who we are, including your concentration level and your mood. Next slide. So how does exercise help? It's evidence that there are positive effects of exercise on mood states such as anxiety, stress, and depression. So through physiological and biochemical mechanisms. And that's really about what happens in our brain. So we really get this body moving and we send dopamine is released and we just feel better. Next slide. So it's no surprise that the more you help your body, the more you help your mind. So physical activity increases the flow of oxygen to your brain. It also increases the amount of endorphins. I talked about the dopamine, right? The feel-good chemicals in your brain. For this reason, it's not surprising that people who are in good physical shape also tend to enjoy a higher level of mental agility. So again, it has to be a lifestyle. And they're going to talk about chair exercises later. You may be stuck inside and doing meetings all day. Those chair exercises will come in handy for you. Next slide. So what type of exercises work? Activities you can do at home, because that's where it has to begin, right? So you don't have to go out and get a gym membership. It doesn't have to cost you anything extra. Walking 30 minutes at least 3 days a week. Riding a bicycle. For some of us, believe it or not, most of the bicycle shops in my area sold out of bicycles during COVID-19. I saw more families out and moving than I had ever seen before. It was very refreshing for me. Jumping rope. I can tell you that I love to travel, which was stated earlier. I take a simple $3 jump rope with me, and I'm able to get cardio in no matter where I'm at. So I can walk or run, and I can jump rope, and I can get what I need to get in. Lifting weights, we especially want to do those. I am one of those people that's approaching 60, right? And lifting weights is really important for me to keep my body in the condition that it needs to be in and to stay healthy. Yoga, you can do at home. Pilates, you can do at home. And Tai Chi, you can do at home. These are all things that you can do that won't cost you anything extra, and they'll help get your body moving and help get your mind into the place where you really want it to go. Next slide, please. Sleep hygiene. I told you we would talk about that. So these are tips for a good night's sleep. Go to bed and get up at the same time every day. I can tell you I have a hard deadline, 10 o'clock every night. I go to bed. I wake up every morning at 6 a.m. Don't eat or drink too much when it is close to bed. I go to bed at 10. I don't eat anything past 8 o'clock. I don't care who it is, and I don't care where I'm at. If you take naps, keep them short and before 5 p.m. because you don't want to mess with your sleep time, right? Exercise regularly. See how that keeps showing up? Develop rituals to wind down before going to bed. I'm a reader. I'm an avid reader. And so that's the thing that I do because it gets me off social. The blue light is horrible. So for those of you who say, oh, I'm on my phone or I play games, it is one of the worst things you can do because it activates a part of your brain that's hard to settle that down when it's time for you to go to bed. Keep the bedroom a relaxing place. Avoid working or paying bills in bed. I don't even have a TV upstairs anywhere in my house, and everybody thought it was horrible. But I am one who's big on sleep hygiene, and so that was really important for me in my home. Go to bed in a dark, quiet room that isn't too hot or too cold. So you have to have what's comfortable for you, and don't lie in the bed awake. If you lay there too long, your body's going to associate it with you being awake in the bed, and you want your body to associate laying in the bed with going to sleep. Next slide. Seeking help. So you can do all of these things and still find yourself in a place where you're just not okay. And the thing that I want you to understand and I want you to pull away from this is it's okay to not be okay as long as you're not giving up, because we have to be able to continue to move through. Next slide. You can get treatment now at home. So we've all got moved to telehealth. We're all doing it, and it doesn't even have to look like this. I can tell you it can happen on a phone, it can happen on a computer, it can happen on any device that you have. And every provider is doing telehealth right now because it's what we all got moved to at the beginning of COVID. Next slide. Behavioral health care is available. Just know that. So some symptoms are normal, but prolonged or extreme symptoms getting in the way of everyday life are signs that you need to get help. So any suicidal thoughts, turning to alcohol or drugs to cope are danger signs. So those with pre-existing mental health conditions are at a higher risk. We have in the state of Maryland 211 press 1. So if you dial 211 press 1, you will be directed to somebody that can give you some help without you having to go somewhere else. We also have texting 741-741. You want to text MD to that so they know that you're in Maryland. And it's really cool. Even the director of our mental health association talks about how she did it, and she gets these really cool daily reminders, affirmations that just kind of have a great day. Next slide. I do want to talk about some of the new things in the county. We have a new ambulatory program, and it's at Doctors Community Hospital. They're converting an old building they had to an eight residential crisis or withdrawal management beds. They're going to have walk-in urgent care. It's going to be outpatient mental health and substance use disorders. They're going to be able to address adults and adolescents through partial hospitalization programs and addictions, intensive outpatient program for addictions. This will probably come online at the end of the year. They're seriously working on getting up and running right now, but we're looking at them coming up and running by the end of the year. Next slide. We also are establishing a crisis facility. So we're in the middle of bidding that out right now, and it will have some walk-in capacity included. That particular project won't come online until 2022. So that's when we're looking forward to open. And that's all I have for you tonight. So if you have any questions, I can answer any questions that you have. Or if you wait to the end, I'm not sure how the platform is, but I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Dr. Hunter.
You're welcome.
We have a chat box manager that will help us. If anyone does have questions, please feel free to type them now while we have Dr. Hunter with us. All right. That was really great. So thank you so much, Dr. Hunter. We hope you all feel assured that there are local resources that can help you, and you should feel safe accessing them if you or anyone that you know is exhibiting any of these prolonged symptoms we've covered tonight. Don't forget, a great tip was when you're feeling stressed, do your best to stay positive and, you know, keep moving. Maybe try some jump rope or a nice walk. So now we'll turn our attention over to Patricia for some tips on stress-busting benefits of physical activity.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, great.
Yes, hi, good evening. Again, my name is Patricia Partee. I'm a certified fitness instructor. So I want to say thank you for inviting me in this month's DLM activity. I appreciate it so much. Just want to share with you a few things that, and some things was previously shared by Dr. Hunter. So some things you may kind of hear again, but want to talk about how physical activity can be the antidote to stress. Physical activity is extremely important to our body, mind, and soul, spirit. As Dr. Hunter mentioned earlier, we live longer, we feel better, and our brains function more efficiently. With exercise, it increases our overall health and sense of well-being. So 3 of the tips that we're going to share. Okay, number 1, it pumps up your endorphins. That's those feel-good neurotransmitters in our brains. And sometimes they're referred to as a runner's high, but any aerobic activity can contribute to the same feeling. So it makes you feel good. Meditation in motion. If you're exercising, and whether you're walking, running, or any form of exercise, you may find that you can forget about your cares of the day, any concerns you may have, any irritations, those kinds of things, because you only concentrate on your body's movements. And then as you begin to go through a regular routine of getting rid of daily tensions, you'll find that you can focus on your activity, which results in energy and other positive things that can help you stay calm and focused. Next, exercise helps to regulate your sleep. Your sleep. We can't say enough of that. If you exercise during the day and when it's time to go to bed or to sleep, you can find you rest better. You may not get up as much during the night. Your sleep is not broken as much. Your anxiety level is down, those kind of things. So you have a better quality of sleep. And so then the bottom line is, whatever you do, don't think of exercise as a task or any physical activity as a task, or it's just another thing I must do. Incorporate it into your day and do things that you enjoy doing, whether it be walking, running, any kind of physical activity will help you to feel better about yourself. So it doesn't matter what it is, just try to do something and try to stay committed to it. And then, it'll take you a long way. So you'll feel much better. And then so for, so that's the end of my presentation. As far as the things I'm going to share with you about the 3 tips for the stress-busting benefits of physical activity. So if you have any questions, there's a web link attached to the handout you received. You can go to that, and that will give you some other stress-busting benefits of physical activity.
Thank you so much, Patricia. Thank you for keeping us inspired and sharing these useful tips to help us keep feeling good in both our mind and body. One quick reminder before we begin to move is that we're using Zoom webinar. This means you won't be able to see each other, but we hope to keep you inspired to move on your own. Continue to follow the safe reminders we have here for you. So get your water, clear your space so there's nothing to trip on, and move at your own pace. Don't be afraid to take a break when you need to, and have some fun.
Kate?
Yes.
Kate, I think we still have Dr. Hunter with us.
Oh, excellent. There's a question.
There is. Dr. Hunter, are you there?
I am, but that is a medical question that that person should ask their medical doctor. I am a mental health doctor. So that is a question they should ask them. That usually comes from a muscle injury or something like that. And so that's something that they should explore with their doctor. And they could also let them know if they've been under a tremendous amount of stress. But that's something that a medical doctor can help them analyze.
Thank you, Dr. Hunter.
You're welcome.
Okay. We're going to queue up the physical activity. Great. Thank you, Jen.
We have no volume. We'll have to start again. We'll have to stop share screen. And when we go to share screen, we have to click the two buttons. No volume.
Move through an instructor-led exercise routine. Come and join us, and let's improve our health together.
Hi everyone, my name is Debbie and I'm so glad you're joining me today. We're going to be doing a chair aerobics class today. You don't have to have a chair for all of it, but you will need the chair for some of it. Just a sturdy, any kind of sturdy chair. You can go and grab a chair from your house, anywhere in your house. And then we're going to need some light weights and bands, and a band. If you don't have light weights and a band, you can substitute by getting soup cans or any kind of light object that is has equal weight. You just hold the cans instead of the weights. To replace the band, you can use pantyhose, a scarf, anything that you have that's long that's going to give you a little bit of resistance. So that's all you need. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be a nice workout, and we're just going to get started. So we're going to be standing next to our chair. If you need assistance and you feel a little unstable, you can hold on to the chair with your hand. So we'll be on the right side of our chair. We're just going to warm up a little bit. You can hold the chair with your left hand if you'd like to. If not, we're just going to start marching right and left. Right, left. And we're just going to be swinging our arms by our sides. We're just warming up a little bit here because we don't want to start the class without a little bit of a warm-up. Standing tall, always think about your posture. Abs in tight, shoulders back, chest out, chin up a little bit. And just march, swinging your arms. A few more for 5, 4, 3, 2, and now we're going to take a big circle with our arms. come back down. Circle up. Just getting that nice range of motion with your arms and your shoulders. Up. One more time. Circle up. And stand in place. Just march. Now we're going to start exaggerating our motions just a little bit. We're going to start swinging our arms and bringing our knees up a little higher. Almost like a soldier march. You're just swinging your arms, getting a little bit bigger range of motion, and warming yourself up just a little bit more. A few more. A few more sets. And here we are. Let's go ahead and stand in place for a minute here. So we're going to just go ahead and take our right foot forward, left foot behind you, and we're just going to reach up and press that left heel down. Reach up, press that left heel down. We're just doing a little bit of active stretching. Reach up and press. Two more. Up, press. One more time, press. Keep that same foot back. And now we're just going to take the front foot and we're going to come back on our heel and forward. Lift that front toe and bring it forward. Lift the front toe, sticking your backside behind you. And now we're stretching out the hamstring. Just active stretching at the beginning. And 3, and 2, and 1. And now we're just going to switch legs. You're going to put your left leg in front, right leg behind. You're just going to reach up and press that heel down. Reach up, press the right heel down. Reach and press. 4 more. 4. Just a little bit of active stretching. You always warm up. Active stretching. Hands on hips, and then you're going to go back and drop that toe down. Lift that toe up in the front, drop it down. Getting the hamstring of your left leg. So we do the warm up, we do active stretching, we do our workout, and then we cool down and stretch statically. And 1 more, and 1. Okay, guys. So we're going to come over, and let's just have a little change of scenery. Let's come to the other side of our chair. Let's come onto the left side of our chair. Hold it with your right hand. And we're going to put all our weight onto our right foot, come up to the toe of the left foot. Remember, you're standing tall, abs in tight, shoulders back, chest out. And all we're going to do is take that left foot and we're going to tap it in front. You're going to tap and bring it back. Tap, everything's on your right foot, all your weight's on your right foot, little bend to that right knee. This is level 1. The next level is going to be you're just going to reach up and tap your foot onto an imaginary balloon at hip height. Or lower, doesn't have to be hip height. And 3, and 2, and now we're going to take our leg out to the side and back, out to the side and back. So we're working all of the muscles around the hip. For 4, and 3, 2, and you can add arm motion. Bring it to the front now. We're going to combine these motions and take it to the side. Bring it to the front. Take it to the side. You really feel this on your stationary leg, on your right leg. 1 more time. Take it to the front and take it to the side. Okay, so now let's shake out those legs. We're going to go back over to the right side of our chair, holding the chair with your left hand, all your weight's on your left foot. Come to the toe of your right foot, abs in tight, shoulders back, chest out, little tiny micro bend to that left foot. And then we're just going to simply toe tap in the front with our right foot. You're going to tap, come back. Tap, level 1. You can always stay here, just balancing on that leg. Next level, we're going to reach that leg up and tap that imaginary balloon. That balloon can be hip height, it can be knee height, whatever you think, whatever's good for you. It's just working the hip flexor, working our abdominals, standing abdominals right now too. 3, 2, feeling it on that poor left leg. Now we're going to take it to the side. Lift it out, bring it in. If you want to add some arm motion, you can. Bring it out and in. 4 more, and 3, and 2. Now we're going to combine those motions, take it to the front. Bring it to the front, now to the side. And we're just combining these 2 motions. Bring it to the front, to the side. Bring it to the front, to the side. Really feeling it on that left leg. To the side. 1 more time. Bring it to the front and bring it to the side. And let's stop here and shake our legs out. We're gonna be sitting down in just a minute, but we have one more thing behind our chair. Before we take a little break, sit down and work on our arms a little bit. You're standing behind your chair. I'm gonna turn my chair to the side so you can see what I'm doing. But you're gonna stand behind your chair. You're gonna stand on your right leg and take your left leg back behind you. I'll show you from the side view. You're standing on your right leg, your left leg's back behind you. I'm doing the opposite because I'm mirroring you. And you're standing tall, and all we're gonna do is lift back, slight little lift off the ground. It's for your glutes and your hamstrings. You're just gonna lift and drop it down. Lift, tap it back down. Lift behind you, bring it down, lift, and down. 4 more. And 3, holding your abs in tight. I'm reminding myself, 2. And 1, now we're gonna pulse it up. Should feel it in the backside, your gluteus maximus, and your hamstrings. 3, 2, back to slow. 1 more set, up and down. 7 more. 6 and 5, 4 and 3, 2. 1 more set of pulses and we'll switch sides. It's 8 and 7 and 6, 5, 4. Good balance work. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and rest that leg. We're gonna switch legs. I'm just gonna face the front again. You're gonna be on your left leg now. Right leg behind you, standing tall, holding onto your chair, just lifting that left leg straight off the ground behind you. Lift and lower. So what we're doing is we're holding our abs in tight and we're not bending forward. We're letting our gluteus maximus, our glutes, our backside, and our hamstrings do all the work. Don't worry, if you started on the wrong leg, just switch legs every time. When we switch to the other side, you just switch legs. 2 and 1. Now pulse it back. It has to be just a little bit off the ground. 6, 5, 4, doing great. 2, back to slow, lift and down. Almost done with the leg section, the beginning leg section. 4 more, slow. 4 and 3, doing great guys. 2, 1 more set of pulses, here we go, and 7. Feeling it on that stationary leg, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Okay guys, we're gonna come down, we're gonna take a seat in our chair, sitting on the edge of your chair. You don't wanna sit and slump back and lean into your chair. Sitting on the edge of your seat, you're just gonna take that left leg and bring it across your right knee, and stand tall and just let your leg fall over. You feel that stretch in your outer thigh because you really felt that in your thigh for a few seconds there. So you want to stretch it out. It's okay to stretch out during your exercising. Stop for a minute, stretch out a little bit. And let's go ahead and bring that foot down and let's cross your right leg over and just sit tall, let that stretch. Feel the stretch in your outer hip. Okay guys, so we're gonna grab our light set of weights. You can either have a light set of weights, you can have cans of soup, you can have 2 of anything that weighs the same. 2 things that are the same size. We're gonna be sitting on the edge of our seat, nice and tall, feet at 90-degree angles, nice 90-degree angles with your knees, sitting toward the edge of your seat. And we're just simply gonna grab our weights, hammer curl, which means palms are facing each other, and we're just gonna drop them to the sides of our chair. Sitting tall, abs in tight, we're just gonna lift it up in a nice bicep curl and bring them down. Elbows are at your sides, and just doing a nice bicep curl. It's up and down, up and down. Working the front of the arms, working the biceps. 4 more like this, and 3, and 2. And now we're gonna add an overhead press. So we're gonna bring it here and then bring it overhead. Back to the shoulders, back down. Up to the shoulders, overhead, and back. And back. Keep going, doing great guys. Back down. 2 more like this. Last one like this. Now here, just stay up here, overhead press. Just stay here. Overhead press. And 7 more. Keep going guys, overhead press is pretty hard. And 5. And 4. And 3. And 1. And now we're going to bring it back down and we're just going to do a few more biceps. And down, up and down. Now 2 more like this, and now we're just going to alternate arms right and left. Looks like this, right and left. just to do something different. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's take both weights in front of your chest and then bring them out in front of you. Elbows are extended, but you don't have to have your arms completely straight. Little bend to your elbows, palms face each other, and we're simply gonna just hit the weights together, just lightly. Lightly tap the weights. 8, 7, 6. Weights are at shoulder height. 2, let's tap top and bottom. Top and bottom. Top and bottom. Just a few more, guys. And bottom. We'll move to legs. 4 more. 4 and 3, 2, 1. And let's put the weights down for a minute. Now you're just gonna grab, you're gonna stay in your seat, we're gonna grab our band. All we're gonna do is take the band and lay it across the top of your thighs, your band or your scarf or your nylons, whatever you have. Leggings, you can do it with leggings. And then you're just gonna crisscross the band underneath your legs and then bring it back up and have your hands rest at your sides, holding the band. All we're gonna do now is we're gonna tap our right leg out and tap our left leg out, alternating. Here we go. Right leg out and back. Left leg out and back. Now the big thing you wanna think about here is your knee and ankle stay over each other. You don't wanna go like this and just have your leg going out. You want the whole leg going out. Whole leg. Whole leg. We're also doing an abdominal drill while we're doing this, because as you pick each leg up and bring it out to the side, working the abs too. You can feel it in your abdominals. 4 and 3 and 2. Now we're only going to do the right side faster. 8, 7, 6. Sitting tall. 4, 3, 2. Left side only for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Right side 4 for 4, 3. Left side 4, 4, 3. Doing great. Right side 2. Left side 2. Right side 2, left side 2, and now alternate right and left. Here we go, last set. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, guys. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the band down. We're gonna take our weights and we're gonna put them in both hands. You can crisscross them or just put the weights together, and we're gonna slowly put it up over our head. We're still sitting in the chair, nice and tall, abs in tight, elbows at your sides. At the sides of your ears, and you're just going to drop it back. Down and up. Thinking about just bringing those weights behind your head. So what we're doing is we're trying to hit a lot of different muscle groups here in this small time period. We're trying to hit the biceps, triceps, shoulders, glutes, and major leg muscles like the quads and the hamstrings. A few more times. 4. Now you're trying to keep your head straight. 2, your neck in line with your spine. Now we're gonna pulse it back. Here we go, guys. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, back to slow. Last set, up, and 7, almost done. And 6, working the backs of the arms to triceps. 4, doing great, guys. 3, 2, last set of pulses, here we go. It's 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And here we go, guys. We're gonna bring the weights down, put them beside you, and we're gonna just stand up again. One more exercise next to our chair. The first one is going to be standing on the right side of your chair. You're gonna be standing on your right foot. Right foot's out to the side, left foot comes a little behind you, and you're just gonna bring that right hand up over your shoulder, up over your head. We're simply gonna be working our inner thighs. We're gonna be reaching up and then bringing it back. Your inner thighs turn toward the ceiling, and you're tapping it and reaching to the sky. Tapping it, reach to the sky. On your right leg, bend that knee, just a small micro bend. And 3. We're gonna do one more set, 2, and 1. Last set. 8. Working the inner thigh. 7. Working all the muscles around our hips. 5. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Other side. We're going to go over to the other side of the chair. Same thing on this side. You're on the left side of the chair, holding it with your right arm. You're going to be standing on your left leg. Right leg comes slightly behind you, inner thigh toward the ceiling. You're gonna raise your left arm up in the air, and here we go. We're gonna lift, tap that inner shin, turning your leg toward the ceiling, inner thigh toward the ceiling, working that inner thigh. Doing great, guys. One more set. 8 and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, doing great. Last one and 1. Okay, guys, we're gonna go and take one more time. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna finish here. We're gonna be doing some abdominal work, and then we're gonna finish with a little bit of stretching. So you're sitting nice and tall at the end of your seat. We're just gonna start jump roping. It's like our grand finale. Here we go, it's the end. We're gonna start pretending like we have a jump rope. So you're taking your arms, swinging the rope. You can just go on the lifting your heels off the ground, or you lift your legs. 8. Holding your abs tight. 6 and 5 and 4 and 3, 2, 1. Take it backwards. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, guys, we're gonna have to cool it down here. So we're just gonna kind of sit calmly. We're gonna sit nice and tall in our chair. We're gonna do a few stretches. So the first thing we wanna do is take your right leg, cross it over your left knee, sit nice and tall. Take your left hand, wrap it around the outside of your knee, and then take your right arm and turn it to the side, pulling back slightly on your knee, getting a nice stretch across your hip and thigh, and also a little bit of a stretch in your side. Doing great, guys. Come on back to center, uncross your leg, cross your other leg, sit nice and tall. Take your right arm, wrap it around your knee, left arm out to the side, turning to the side, and then pulling back on that knee slightly, getting a nice side stretch, a nice hip and outer thigh stretch. Sitting tall. And come on back to center, uncross. Lift your arms all the way up. And then as we come back down, you're gonna slowly bend over and touch your shins, your ankles, your toes, whatever's good for you. Hands can be on the ground. This is basically just Uttanasana. It's kind of a yoga pose, but it's a forward fold. Just getting a nice stretch in your back, your hamstrings a little bit, your lower back. And reach it up. And then we're gonna come down. Take another big breath up. Down, reach it up again, and come down, and one more time up, and down, and this time reach it all the way up, hands together, return to heart center, and I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. I just wanted you to set goals for yourself. Join us again if you have a chance.
Thank you for joining us for the exercise portion of virtual Dine, Learn, and Move. Feel free to include this workout in your daily routine. For more videos like this for all ages, visit the Department of Parks and Recreation's online resource center at pgparks.com. Until next time, be healthy, be well.
All right. Wasn't that another great workout from Debbie? I hope you're feeling inspired knowing that there are many great options to stay active, even while seated. I know I plan to do a few of these at my work desk this week. So now we're going to say hello to Chef Kim for our live cooking demo. We're going to spotlight both Chef and her prep table so you can see what is going on throughout the demonstration. And don't forget, we'll be taking questions, so please use the chat box feature at the bottom of your screen to type a cooking question for Chef and a nutrition question for Shurma. We hope you are able to join us through the end of the demonstration. But if you must log off before 7:30, a link to our evaluation will pop up. We ask that you take just a few moments to complete it tonight so we can better serve you in future Dine, Learn, and Move sessions. Your feedback is very important to us and impacts our ability to continue bringing you this program virtually. Okay, Chef, I'm turning it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Kate. Hi guys, my name is Chef Kim, and today we'll be doing a bean burger with spicy guac and baked sweet potato fries. I figure burgers and fries is perfect for a Memorial Day weekend. If you've tried a burger, bean burger, or sweet potato before, let me know in the chat. First things first, guys, we're gonna go over the ingredients and equipment, and then we're gonna dive right into the recipe. So let's get started. So our topic for this month is brain health. So I chose this bean burger because it's great for, it has all types of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and I'm excited to share it with you this evening. So let's go over the ingredients. We're gonna do, I have some cooked quinoa, extra virgin olive oil, 3 tablespoons, a half a cup of onions, red onions, they can be white if you don't have it. 1 garlic clove that has been minced, chopped up, 2.5 cups of pinto beans, guys. And I have a tip for the pinto beans. We'll talk about that later. We have 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. We have a half a teaspoon of cumin, 3 tablespoons of fresh cilantro. Fresh always brings brightness, guys. We have 3 tablespoons of cornmeal plus 1/3 of a cup of cornmeal to coat our burgers. This is going to give it the crunch. Half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper. Now we also have some whole wheat buns, some lettuce, some tomatoes. We have 1 ripe avocado, lemon juice, red onions, more garlic for the guacamole, cayenne, and salt. However, for this demo, I will not be doing the guacamole, but we'll go over it just because I'm allergic severely, guys. Okay. I want to be able to share this recipe. For the baked sweet potato fries, you're just going to need 1 pound of sweet potatoes peeled, sliced into wedges, cooking spray, and 2 teaspoons of olive oil. So let's get started, right? We're going to start on our sweet potatoes first because they take the longest. So you want to start with clean hands. You want to put some gloves on, right? And here I have in my bowl, I'm going to show you, is some sweet potatoes that I've already chopped up into wedges. I'm going to spray my sheet pan with cooking spray, right? I have a small sheet pan here. I'm going to spray it with cooking spray. My oven is preheated to 400 degrees. And I'm going to take my 1 pound of sweet potatoes. All right, I want all my fries. And then I'm going to measure out 2 teaspoons of extra virgin olive oil. This is what we're going to coat our sweet potatoes with. Sweet potatoes are so good for you. I love sweet potatoes. They add sweetness without you even adding sweetness. You don't even have to add sugar to it. Although we like to, you don't have to. You're going to coat your sweet potatoes in the extra virgin olive oil just to coat it. But did you know that sweet potatoes give you 400% vitamin A for 1 day? Yeah. It's also good for your eyes. It's good for your immune system, reproduction, your heart, your kidneys. And it also is good for your brain. Let me tell you why. I'm going to pop this. This is all coated up in our extra virgin olive oil. We're going to pop this in the oven for 20 to 30 minutes. It depends on your oven. Okay. Make sure that you set a timer. Sometimes I forget to have things in the oven, so I set my microwave timer. But it's good for your immune system. It has all types of vitamins, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, iron, calcium, magnesium, but it contains carotenoids. Yes, that's a big word, right? Carotenoids give the sweet potatoes the color, but it's also an antioxidant, right? It contains carotenoids. It has the power to protect your cells from day-to-day damage. So we need sweet potatoes, okay? Okay, next thing is we're gonna start on our bean burger, right? We're gonna start with turning our pan to medium heat. You just want a large saute pan. You're gonna put your burner on medium temp. And the next thing is we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil to our pan. While that's warming up, I wanna show you what's next, right? We have a 1/2 cup of red onions and we have our garlic, right? The garlic is good for you because it reduces cholesterol, it lowers blood pressure, it's good for your heart, right? So we're gonna cook this up and this is gonna be incorporated into our burger. And then you have red onions, right? Why are we using red onions? Red onions protects against heart disease. It may help with certain cancers, and it also is good for diabetes. So have used some purple onions or red onions, same thing. I'm gonna add the onions to my pan. Now with this, you only want to saute the onions. You're not looking to brown the onions. You're just looking to saute them. A wooden spoon will work, right? And you want to get them to the point where they're translucent. So we're going to cook them between 3 and 5 minutes, right? But we want to talk about the benefits of this bean burger. How many of you have had a bean burger? How many of you are scared to try a bean burger because you feel like what's the point of a bean burger, right? Let me know in the chat, guys. But beans are really good for us. Good for our brain, right? Especially pinto beans. This is what we're using. Now, a couple things with the beans, guys. We can soak a pound of beans overnight, or we can get some canned pinto beans, rinse it off because of the sodium. We have to wash the sodium, and we can use that for if you forget to soak your beans overnight. So you have 2 options to use pinto beans, guys. Pinto beans is a good source of protein, a good source of fiber, has a lot of vitamins, a lot of minerals. It's diabetic friendly because it has a low glycemic rate, which doesn't spike your high blood sugars. It lowers bad cholesterol, lowers cancer risk, improves blood sugar control, and heart health. They also have a lot of antioxidants, right?
Chef Kim,
Yes.
we've got some comments, some feedback.
Oh, awesome.
When you said, when you asked, does anybody, want to even consider eating a bean burger? You got a yes, that's what I felt, but I'm willing to try it. And then someone said they've only had Boca burgers, but they are excited to try your recipe because they're sure it's better than the Boca burger.
I've tried the Boca burgers, right? And Boca burgers are really good. They're convenient. You can get them out the frozen aisle, heat them up when you want to heat them up, and you can take them right out of your freezer, right? With the pinto beans, we're actually making this from scratch. So we know exactly what's in it. We know exactly how it's going to benefit us. So I'm excited that you're excited to try this bean burger. I have just added in 1/2 teaspoon of cumin to my onions and garlic and 1 teaspoon of paprika, the smoked paprika. Why am I adding in the seasonings first before the beans? Well, I'm toasting the seasonings, right? If you have dried herbs and spices like cumin and paprika, it's best to toast them in a pan. This will bring out flavor, give it a depth of flavor. So anytime you're using cumin, paprika, chili powder, it's always best to toast them a little bit first to bring out the flavor. But let's get back on these beans.
We got a couple questions, Chef.
Yes.
It says, why pinto beans instead of black beans?
Oh, you can use either one. Black beans are really, any bean is good for you, right? But have you ever heard of the term, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice? You can use black beans, you can use pinto beans. You can switch it up, totally up to you. But beans have antioxidants. They help with your cell damage caused by free radicals. They lower your risk of cancer. They help with sagging skin, signs of aging. It has so many vitamins, guys, like B vitamins, potassium, folate, iron, magnesium. And beans are high in folate, which promotes healthy nerve growth. I don't know about you, but I want a healthy nerve growth. It helps with DNA reproduction and embryo development, so reproduction. What I'm doing here is just sauteing my beans. I've added in the paprika, I've added in the cumin, and it has the onion and the garlic, right?
Another question, Chef, do the onions have to be red?
No, they don't have to be red. They can be white onions. They can be sweet onions. They can be Vidalia onions.
Another question is if you use dry pinto beans, after soaking overnight, do you cook them?
Yes, you would have to cook your beans first. You would have to cook your beans first.
I'd like to also just let the participants know that the link to the recipe always comes at the top of your confirmation email. However, tomorrow you will receive an email from your Dine, Learn, and Move team with the recipes again, along with additional resources and nutritional information.
So if you're following along with me and you're cooking with me, great. But if you're following along and want to cook this recipe for Memorial Day weekend, you can do that because I have some tips and tricks that'll turn this bean burger and sweet potato fry recipe into a Memorial Day classic. So don't worry, guys. Right now I have a potato masher, right? And what I'm doing is just mashing up my beans. The whole mixture that we sauteed in our saute pan, I'm actually mashing up our beans with a potato masher. Okay. I tried black beans. My husband, it was hard for me to, he's not into the bean burger thing, but I made a black bean burger and also this burger and he loved it, right? So we have sauteed our onions and garlic. We've added in our cumin, our smoked paprika, which is going to give it additional flavor without the calories. And then we added in 2.5 cups of cooked pinto beans. We took our potato masher, we mashed up our mixture. And while that's cooling, guys, right, we want to measure out 1/4 of a cup of cooked quinoa. Quinoa is very good for us. It also has protein, fiber. It's gluten-free for those that are following a gluten-free diet. It's also called a super grain, right? So instead of using rice and mashed potatoes, you can also substitute it with quinoa. It's packed with fiber, protein, vitamin A, minerals, and like I said, it's gluten-free. We're gonna add this right into our mixture. The fiber helps with constipation. It can help you feel fuller, longer, which promotes weight loss, right? It helps with cholesterol. It helps lower sugar levels, your risk of diabetes and heart disease, but it's also rich in antioxidants. And I want to talk about that point, right? Some of the vitamins are iron, copper, but it also has like thiamine and it also has potassium. What are those vitamins? Why are they beneficial to us, right? Thiamine helps prevent complications in the nervous system, in our brain, muscles, our heart, our stomach, and our intestines. I'm adding in 3 tablespoons leveled, 3 tablespoons of leveled cornmeal. This is going to help bind our burger together. Only 3 tablespoons, guys.
Chef Kim?
Yes.
Is there another healthy substitute for the quinoa?
Oh, you can add barley, but of course you have to watch your carb intake because barley is high in carbohydrates, but you can use barley. If you want, you can use brown rice. I'm not saying you don't have to, you can't, but you can use other grains for sure.
What about the cornmeal? Any substitute for the cornmeal?
For the cornmeal, we're not using egg, right? So the cornmeal is going to be our base. You can use flour, you can use cornstarch, but the cornmeal is what's going to give it that crispy consistency. And you'll see what I mean when you try this, because we're going to add 3 tablespoons in our burger, but we're also going to coat the outside of our burger in the cornmeal mixture. This is going to add a crunch when we bite into that burger sandwich that you're going to be like, wow, 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 wow. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of chopped cilantro to our mixture. Adding in any fresh herbs to a dish brings out brightness, freshness. Cilantro is in, right? So let's use it. It's cheap, inexpensive. We're going to do a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper. But it also has potassium, right? Quinoa has potassium. Potassium is good for our brain. It has minerals. It has, helps with fluid in the body, muscle contractions, nerve signals. Quinoa is a really good grain, guys. It can help with blood pressure, water retention. What I'm doing now is just combining all of the ingredients, okay? It can also protect against a stroke, prevents osteoporosis and kidney stones. So quinoa has a lot of benefits. Okay, I'm gonna take my mixture. Again, I have a sheet pan, clean sheet pan, right? And we're gonna form some patties with this, just like how you would do ground beef. Same thing. See that? It actually looks like a burger, guys. I even gave some to my kids, and he said, I didn't even tell him it was a bean burger, because that would have freaked him out. But for this weekend, for Memorial Day, right now we're doing it in a saute pan. But for Memorial Day, if you take a cast iron skillet and place it on the grill, this will add more flavor to this burger, guys. Right? So you can definitely have a grilled bean burger. I wouldn't suggest placing it right on the grill. I suggest putting the cast iron skillet on the grill and heating it up that way. And that will add a lot of flavor. You can also grill the sweet potatoes. You can par cook the sweet potatoes. What I mean by par cook is cook them halfway, right? You can par cook them and then finish them off on the grill. And then you don't feel like you're missing out or anything, but you're being healthy at the same time. And I can guarantee you, when you start putting some healthy stuff on there and it start looking good and smelling good, everybody's gonna want it.
Chef, we've got a question.
Yes.
The question is, can you taste the quinoa? I don't like the taste.
You cannot taste the quinoa. You cannot taste it. So that's a good thing. You won't be able to taste it. All right. So I have some patties that I put just like how I would do for a hamburger patty. And what you want to do with this is you want to refrigerate it for at least 20 minutes. This is going to help it combine, stay together. If you skip this process, your bean patties may fall apart. So we don't want that to happen. So you definitely want to make sure that you refrigerate these for 20 minutes before you cook them, okay? This will help bind it with the quinoa, the beans, the onions, the garlic. So we're going to put this in the refrigerator. Any questions so far? In the meantime, we have our whole wheat bun, guys. While you have your stuff in the refrigerator and your sweet potatoes in the oven, this is a good time to get your condiments together. This is a good time to toast your wheat bun, right? So that's what we're gonna do. I have my pan, a dry pan, on low medium, and I'm just going to split my hamburger buns open, and we're gonna just place them split down onto the pan. We're gonna toast those up a little bit.
You've got a question.
Yes.
Can you use a flaxseed egg mixture instead of the cornmeal?
Oh, I've never tried the flaxseed egg mixture. Basically, what you're doing is, I'm sorry, I'm getting that confused with a chia seed mixture. But you can use a flaxseed mixture. Yes, you can. You can. You can also do the chia seed mixture, which I haven't tried, where you would hydrate chia seeds, where they become like that gel consistency, and that also acts as a binder. A lot of people use that when they are allergic to eggs. A lot of people use eggs as a binder, but those that are allergic to eggs, and I have a couple family members that are allergic to eggs, they use a chia seed binder, okay? So we're toasting up our whole wheat bun. That brings us a lot of fiber. It's also good for us. And now we have some cherry tomatoes, right? Not cherry tomatoes, tomatoes on the vine. You want to use a serrated knife when you're cutting tomatoes. And you want to put the seed part down, right? Because that's going to serve as our flat surface. And just make little slices right down with a serrated knife. That's so important. When you're not using a serrated knife, it can be hard. You may slip, and we don't want to slip, right? We want to be able to enjoy our holiday weekend. So we have some tomato slices. We have some shredded lettuce, some onions. Let's talk about our guacamole though. Those that are using the guacamole. How do you choose an avocado, right? Avocado is a good fat, just like extra virgin olive oil. But how do you choose an avocado when you're in the store? You definitely have to touch it, guys. You definitely have to touch it. Oh, they're perfect. I have my toasted buns here. I'm gonna set them aside. But how do you how do you pick a perfect avocado? If it's firm to touch, very firm, it's not ripe yet. It might take up to a week to get at a proper place where you can even cut it, right? So if it's firm and then you touch it and it's kind of soft, those are the ones that you want to pick. But you want to look at the nail, right? You want to look at the eye of the avocado. If it looks really old, it's overripe. So definitely check out the eye of the avocado to determine what's a good pick for you, and touch and feel, okay? So I have some patties here that are already refrigerated, right? These have been in the refrigerator for 20 minutes. And you wanna take the 1/3 cup of cornmeal and you wanna sprinkle that over your patties. Remember, I was saying the cornmeal is going to give it additional texture and that crunch. All right. So we have 2 patties I want to show you. I'm going to turn my pan back on medium heat. I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. For this, you want to make sure you have a spatula, guys. Want to make sure you have a spatula, which I have here, right? And you're gonna place 2 patties at a time into your pan. And this will only take about 2 to 4 minutes, right? Also depends on your pan. Put my other glove on here. So we have a spatula, right? I want to continue to go over the guacamole though, because some people love guacamole. You have the one ripe avocado, 2 tablespoons of finely chopped cilantro, that's important. 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice, 2 teaspoons of chopped red onion, 1 clove of garlic mince, 1/8 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. It depends on how spicy you like it. You can omit that if you want. And a 1/8 teaspoon of salt. So once you cut open your avocado, there's a big pit, right? You always need a large knife, right? Once you slice it open and you have 2 halves and you see the pit on one side, you want to take a large knife and you want to chop your, I would say like knock the seed in the middle with the large knife. And the seed will either fall out or it will stick to your knife. That's how you remove the seed. Another thing you want to do is take a butter knife or a paring knife and you want to go around the skin of the avocado to remove the flesh and pop it right into the bowl. So then you'll mix the lemon juice. The lemon juice helps prevent it from browning, right? You'll add your cilantro, your red onion, your cayenne pepper, mix it all together, and that's gonna be one of our toppings. So it's almost replacing mayo, but it's a good fat, right?
Chef,
Yes.
could you review again what the eye of the avocado should look like?
Of course. So if you look at the eye of an avocado, right, and it looks dry, or it looks like it's getting ready to fall off, right, it's overripe, right? So you definitely want to fill your avocado. If it's firm to touch, but it bounces back, that's a good avocado. But if it's as hard as a baseball, put it back.
We have another question, but this one is in regards to cooking the sweet potato wedges in an air fryer.
Oh, that would be lovely. It's such a great idea. I don't have an air fryer, but guess what? An air fryer will also add crispiness without the oil, right? You just pop some cooking spray on it, pop it in the air fryer, and you have some crispy fries. And you can even, go ahead.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No.
The question was, should I use 1 tablespoon of oil? But I think what you just said is just use cooking spray.
Yep, you can use cooking spray, or the recipe says you can add 2 teaspoons of olive oil if you're putting them in the oven. If you're putting it in your air fryer, that might be different, right? I don't have an air fryer, but I believe you just spray cook it.
Another question is how do you preserve the cilantro in the refrigerator?
Great question. I've had cilantro last more than a week. As soon as you buy herbs, okay, I've cooked my patties for 2 to 3 minutes, right? So I'm gonna turn my pan off. But when you buy any fresh herbs, you wanna rinse them as soon as you get home, and you wanna wrap them in a wet paper towel. Rinse them well, open them up. Sometimes you find bugs, right? Rinse them well under the cold water, but to preserve them, you wanna wrap them in a wet paper towel and place them in a freezer bag. The freezer bag and the wet paper towel will help keep your fresh herbs up to a week or even more, guys. Just make sure that you rinse them as soon as you get them in here. So I have my toasted bun, right? For those that are using avocado, which is our healthy fat, you can spread that on the bottom of your bun. I'm gonna take one of my burgers. I'm gonna place it right here on top. I'm gonna add some shredded lettuce. I'm gonna add some, I have to have raw onion on everything. Hot dogs, hamburgers, fresh tomatoes that we cut, right? I'm gonna add some red onions on mine. Guys, you can add whatever you want. Right, this is our burger here. And then what about those sweet potato fries that we had in the oven right when we started? I have some sweet potatoes here. These look really good, nice and crispy. I use some tongs, right? And we're gonna put that, that's gonna be our side dish. Now, some of you that are watching your carb intake, right? You don't have to use the bun. You can use half of the bun. You can use no bun. It's totally up to you. Like for me, I'm not using avocado, but I'm gonna use the lettuce, tomato, and onion. But you don't have to use the top bun if you're trying to lower your carb intake, okay? So we have our burger, we have our sweet potato fries. I'm gonna cut this bad boy right down the middle. I just wanna show you. This is like a burger, for real. Guys, if this doesn't get you excited for Memorial Day, I don't know what would. So let's give it a try. That's the happy dance. Okay, now you're gonna taste a lot of spiciness from the cumin and the smoked paprika, right? But then you have a balance with the sweet potatoes because they're sweet and spicy. It's a great combo. And like I said, for Memorial Day, if you place your skillet on top of the grill and cook your patty on top of the grill in the skillet, it's gonna add more flavor than what it has. And this is the bomb. And then you have your sweet potato fries, guys. Who's ready for Memorial Day? Who is ready?
We got some recommendations from our participants. It says add a pickle.
A pickle would be great, guys. A pickle would be great. You can add anything to this burger. I'm telling you, it's delicious. You have to try it. If you try it with the guacamole, let us know if you like it or not, right?
Can you make the bean burger and the sweet potatoes ahead and freeze them?
You can make the sweet potatoes and freeze them. I'm not sure about the bean burger though. I think you can. Let me retract that. Without putting the cornmeal on there. As long as you bind them with the quinoa, the onions, the garlic, pack them into patties. But you would have to individually wrap each patty and then put the individual wrap patties into a freezer bag. You'll be fine.
And we have another tip from one of our participants. She shared that she found putting sweet potatoes in the air fryer with just a little olive oil makes them extra crispy. She says they are delicious.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of great reviews from an air fryer, but I'm a family of 5 and I feel like the air fryer is just a little too small for me. But those that have it, that I know are my friends, they love it. They make chicken wings, they make French fries. You can probably even put your burger in there. Just saying, you can put your burger in there, guys. Do you have any more questions?
They're just saying it looks great. They're getting ready to try that recipe.
I'm telling you, it's great. I just want to say thank you all for joining me this evening for the bean burger, spicy guac, and baked sweet potato recipe. I want to wish you all a happy Memorial Day weekend, guys. Enjoy, be safe. Thanks for joining me.
All right. That was another great night. We know you learned a lot and got to interact with the fitness and cooking demonstrations. Could you tell us just a little bit more about your experience tonight by taking a few minutes to complete the evaluation as you log off? This survey is anonymous, but you have the option of leaving your name at the end. Next month, we will select a winner from those who have completed the evaluation as a token of our appreciation. Right now, we'll celebrate an April participant who completed the evaluation. Our partner, the health department, is sharing a health and wellness package tonight. So Jen, when you're ready, go ahead and give that wheel a spin. Ooh, fun, all right. Congratulations, Ms. Martin. Our team will follow up with you via email to make sure you will receive your health and wellness package from our health department partners. You'll be receiving a resistance band, a book with 300 ways to incorporate exercise, a salad cup. You see a picture of it right there. Doesn't that look fun to help you stay healthy on the move? And a set of portion control measuring cups you see down here on the left. So awesome, generous prize from the health department. Thank you so much. And then for everyone else, in the next few days, each of you will receive an email with a link to tonight's fitness demo from Debbie, another copy of tonight's recipes, as well as all of the resources that we saw throughout the night. We hope that you use these resources to help you support your wellness throughout the month until we meet again. All right, so thank you from Dine and Learn.